Today is the 1st of February 2013. My name is Sam Norwood, and behind the camera is Rosa Kowalska and Yijing Li. This interview is for the Ming-Ai London Institute British Chinese Workforce Heritage Project. Could I begin by asking your name?
Chinese name or English name?
Both.
So my full Chinese name is, first name is Jian, Jianxun, Xun. Last name is Li, Li. So English, it's easy, just call Jason, exactly same song as Jianxun.
Could you tell us when and where you were born?
I was born in Shanghai, and I was born about 40 years ago.
And could you tell us a bit about your family?
So my parents in Shanghai, they both retired. They used to work as teachers.
And do you have any brothers and sisters?
No. One child policy.
And could you tell us a bit about your education?
Education, I came to London. I will study first diploma in business near the Greenwich. Then the second year I feel it's a bit too much due to my lack of experience for business study. So I moved back to the hotel management in Times Very University, used to call, but now they call West London University. I finished my BA in hotel management. I moved on to Oxford Brookes, did my MSc in international hotel and tourism management.
And how about your education back when you were in China?
In China, I was tried to pass Chinese GCSE, so I failed twice, so I given up. So I didn't study university in China, so I came to London. I did.
And what jobs did you do when you were in China?
I was first year doing sewing machine factory for building the sewing machine. Yeah.
And what was that like?
It's fun, but it's very tough. It's dirty, greasy, and lots of heavy duty you have to play around.
What did you learn from working in the sewing factory that you went on to use in your later career, if anything?
Yes, I know how to use sewing machine now to make it a piece of clothes or some small duties. I can use it.
And when did you come to the UK?
In 1993.
And what led to that decision to come?
I came London for holiday. Then I found a language school and like college for business studies. So I was really interested to change my profession from the previous sewing machine worker to be something future for the businessman at the time.
And how did the UK compare to the expectations you had about it before you came?
Slightly different. In China, when we study, we follow everything tutor or professor way to do the work. So lack of self-confidence. So we always got lots of homework to do, handing, but there's no like a teamwork and like group work. So it's, and also always feeling lack of confidence.
And what were the jobs that you first did in the UK?
First job that time, I was working in the Japanese restaurant as a waiter.
And what was that like?
It's really fun. I learned like other countries, say Asian cuisine and their culture, and same time I'm learning the Japanese food and how to behave, how to treat as a custom point from the waiter view.
Can you describe what you do now?
Now I am doing Chinese marketing at the sales department at Royal Hotel. That's my full-time job. So weekend I'm doing quite a lot called supper club, mainly for traditional and Chinese Jiangnan style, not Gangnam style, different. So our Jiangnan, it's more like south of Yangtze River, so we call Jiangnan.
And how do you find doing all these different roles?
At the beginning, a bit hard because lots of time involved, and you need a lot of background knowledge, plus and technology or skills. And then when I involved a little bit more after 3 months doing same things, I really enjoy. I really passionate with it. because both jobs help me each other. So sales, I met people, we were talking food, about culture. And I met people in my private and club or super club, and people would talk about business. So they sent to me business lead or link, and without any extra work.
And do you have a favourite role out of the jobs you do?
I like both, honest, because both will help my career. So sales, most people were thinking it's easy. Actually, it's not easy. As a Chinese, especially now these days, and Chinese business and visitors is booming. Lots of demanding for Chinese sales, but and Chinese sales part still behind the world market. We still have to learn a European way. But in other hand, and Chinese food, everybody aware about Chinese cuisine. They know it's popular, but they don't know deep enough because there's culture involved and history involved. Each Chinese dish, there is a story behind.
And where does your passion for food come from?
From my parents. So my grandfather, my mom, my dad, they all love eating. So every single time they try to cooking the dish which they memorize or their favorite dish. So I grew up with like eating hobby family. So we eating all the time and going out and learning. And time to time, my mom always cooking for that time we call private dinner. So we cooking for my grandfather's house, friend's house. We do different like dishes and different region cuisines. And slowly I got influence. But at that time, we don't have a supper club this name. We all call volunteer job, you know what I mean?
And how would you describe the food that your parents cook?
My parents cooking mainly it's more like a Zhenjiang and Ningbo. So Zhenjiang is next to Nanjing, the city. So they are more involved with river tank, fish, and crab or prawn, and lots of fresh ingredient, and they're more tiny bit sweety they taste. And my mom region is more Ningbo. It's near like seaside, Eastern Sea, so it's more like seafood, and food tastes a little bit salty. So they are one sweet, one salty. I'm in the middle.
And how would you describe your own cooking?
My own cooking, it's like benefit from my parents. In addition, I add my UK region part, which more healthy, lighter, fresh ingredient, and plus I prefer use the local ingredient.
And how do you find those local ingredients that you use in your food?
I really like Sainsbury or Waitrose shopping for a local one, but only necessarily like a soy sauce, some particular sauce ingredient, I go Chinatown. And also sometimes go to Borough Market, get fresh meat or fresh vegetable. Sometimes go to Billingsgate for my seafood region.
And have you ever had any formal training in cooking?
Yes, I did. So 1 year I was studied TVU, Thamesbury University. The second year we was training Westernized kitchen. So 1 year. And plus I did a 6 months course in Shanghai in the hotel and restaurant, learning how to make dim sum. And time when I had a vacation in Shanghai, I always asked my parents send to me to proper restaurant to learn something new dish.
And do you find that you're still learning about food?
I'm still learning, and also I'm still learning from other cuisine too. Try to borrow other skill. For example, the French cooking, Italian cooking, including Japanese cooking, something cooking method, something cooking even the supply or ingredient I can use, and mix with Chinese ingredient together, but based still on Chinese sector.
And you can be honest here. What do you eat in your own home?
Own home, I do lots of cooking during the weekend, but Monday, Tuesday, I normally use reheat food from Saturday, Sunday. But sometimes keeping changing my dishes. For example, I make my own wonton soup, but use my traditional cooking way and use the Shanghai recipe. And sometimes I prefer eat like an English way or Italian way, but I put Chinese ingredient. For example, I'm doing pizza, but I use the Italian paste, the pastry, but I add a roast pork or roast duck on top. Then mix with the tomato sauce. Sometimes I do French like a salad for rocket and with cherry tomato, but I do add extra and Chinese ginger vinegar and duck egg, salt duck egg. Yeah.
And would you say that you like creating fusion food?
Not necessarily. I prefer traditional Chinese cuisine with tiny bit twist as a presentation. Fusion just sometimes it's more healthy factor I will involve.
And you've told us a bit about what your favourite parts of your job, what you like about your job. Is there anything that you dislike about your job?
So dislike when I've met horrible guests, very demanding guests, and especially the one that's rude guests. That's most I dislike it.
Do you get that often?
Time to time do.
And what does a typical day look like for you?
Typical day for me is morning day. I came to work in the morning. Before start, I have to write my food recipe for another newspaper for Chinese version 1. So then run to the station, came to work. So during the day, I met custom doing like visit different company, travel agents, check all the email. Every 15 minutes, I have to check the email to reply with my BlackBerry when I'm out. Then time there's a telephone call. I got 3 phones, so one mainland, and one's a business call, and one's personal. Personal normally I answer after work, but just telephone no stop ringing. You have to deal with email, return the call, and with people, the internal call and meeting. So, pretty much. So after work, normally it's entertainment. So you got networking meeting, seminar meeting in the evening. Sometimes you go Chinese society, Chinese business association, and join the networking. But after networking, again, there's dinner involved, or after dinner involved. Then when go home, you're already tired, but you still got something to do. You need to prepare second day or Sunday or weekend, the recipe, menu, for the invites, for the invitation, and plus you organize your method to cooking, or you're doing whatever you have to shooting photo, download a photo. There's no end.
How do you find a balance between your work life and your personal life?
I think it's passion. If you're happy what you do, if you want to achieve something you really want it, and that's the power, the energy give to you.
Could you tell us a bit about your attitude towards work?
Which way? The morning one or evening one?
Both.
So attitude, how to say, when I'm cooking, I always passionate, I always positive, and I trust myself. Since I saw some people or watch some video or some like private cooking or some Chinese like cooking theory, so make me more confidence I can do my part as better. And always positive, always I'm willing to learn new dish, and always I learn traditional dish too, but with my twist, so more healthy way. And for the working, I think I always am in my sales part. I always think I'm the best sales as a Chinese part in London.
And could you tell me a bit about where your attitude towards work comes from?
I think half of them from my mom. My mom always happy, and she always feeding us and cooking different dish. If I ask any different dish, mom, I want this dish, and she always trying to make exactly I want it. And when I taste the food or having her food, I always feeling that's the enjoy, that's the family getting together, that's the mom's love. So that's the one part. Second part is come myself. I think I've been working nearly 20 years in UK, so through the different working experience, different people interrelation with your colleagues and boss and custom, slowly I built myself.
Do you think, if at all, your Chinese heritage has played a part in your attitude towards work?
I think it is. Because the Chinese part, because normally in Chinese people, we're always working hard and long hour. We always develop ourselves without people telling us. And also, how say, in the Chinese blood size, we're always willing to moving on and to be rich, and to be rich here too.
As someone who's worked both in China and in the UK, how does it compare?
The culture different. In China, we talk about more 关系, it's relationship. If you don't have a relationship, doesn't matter you how skillful it is and how passionate with your job, there's no opportunity. But in UK, there's more opportunity. As long as you're passionate with your work, with your career, you got skill, there's always opportunity for you to develop and to be success.
You've worked in the restaurant and hotel sector for 20 years, you were saying, in the UK.
Yeah.
Do you think there's been a lot of change in that time?
Yes, it is. Because day one, when we came to London, I speak Mandarin or Shanghainese only. It is very difficult to find job in Chinese restaurant sector because they prefer Cantonese. And if you don't speak Cantonese, their wage size, you will drop lots on your wage. You won't get more money than people can speak Cantonese. At that time, Malaysia, Hong Kong, or Vietnamese Chinese, they got more pay than us because they can speak Cantonese. And at that time, the visitor or customers based on Cantonese speaking. But now these days, there's lots of developing and Chinese economic booming. So we got lots of mainland Chinese who speak Mandarin and came to UK for visit, for study, for working, or for the government treatment. But again, so now these days, there is no this such rule to say have to speak Cantonese when you're looking for a job. And even the people from Hong Kong or BBC Chinese, they start to learn Mandarin. So one thing different. And also, when we came to London, even some Chinese, when we work in the restaurant, they feel that like a high level, they discriminate us because we're from mainland China, we don't speak Cantonese, they're from Hong Kong. But now this time, the gap is getting smaller and smaller, and we feel it's more same country and same Chinese and same roots.
And you've talked a bit about how when you were first here, a lot of the Chinese food was Cantonese food.
Yeah.
Has that now changed?
It's totally changed because nearly 20 years ago, there's like a steamboat 火锅 start, and business is crap. They have to close the restaurant within 1 year. But after 20 years history, and now these days you got Sichuan cuisine, and you do have a Hunan cuisine, and part of you have some mix with Yangtze Riverside, which more similar as Shanghai region cuisine. So steamboat and 火锅, it's got like a grooming, like a, older students, including English students, they start love the steamboat because this is similar as Japanese, like shabu shabu, and people love spicy food. No one love it. And people hate it because it's too spicy. But now people can accept.
And what do you think the future is for Chinese food in the UK?
I think the future for Chinese food in UK, there's two ways. More variety cuisine coming. Because in China, we got 8 different cuisine. So you got Sichuan, you got Canton, you got Fujian, then you got Zhejiang, you got Yangzhou, you got Anhui, then you got Shanghai, plus last at least it's Shandong, we call Lucai. So 8 of them, so far we only have 3-4 in London. So there's half a way to develop in UK, plus the new concept and new idea, more fusion or more healthy sector will involve in Chinese cuisine. Again, it's all the Chinese chef. If they be in future like education and learning different like region cuisine to cross it, I think there's big opportunity for Chinese cuisine in UK market.
And about your future personally, where do you see yourself going?
I'm not sure, but definitely I will go to even more healthy part, and plus I will do myself to assist the Chinese cuisine and culture develop in UK, plus and Chinese market side, so I can do both.
Would you say that changes in technology have affected the way you do work?
Yes. Yeah.
How so?
So the technology changed because at the moment, the Chinese kitchen, the equipment technologies improve a lot. The new technology and the more hygiene, more healthy, and keeping people like they use less oil, and the ventilation. So all the healthy, we're keeping the environment more friendly.
What would you say to someone who was starting where you started off 20 years ago, wanting to go into the hotel sector?
I think it's really hard for them because day one when we came, we can do like 100% independent without get funding from parents or family, and we're working hard and study hard and to treat ourselves hardly. But now these days, the children or students' life much better than us, so they don't necessarily have to find part-time job to work when they study, and the view from the study and for the work is totally different. For the young generation, they prefer easy life, easy job, and more money. So the vision is totally different.
This is a similar question.
Yeah.
But how would you say life has changed for people of Chinese heritage working in the UK?
I think the Chinese heritage in UK now these days we going more like management level. The day one, the first generation, they are more like takeaway chef or cleaner or plus the low skill job. Now these days we go second generation, third generation, they start have a lawyer profession, they go to accountant, they go management, and because we are understanding the UK culture and education, so we all try for next generation even better than us.
And would you describe there being a community of people of Chinese heritage in the UK? Does it feel like there's a community?
There is a community, but I'm not feeling enough. We need a lot of people work for the community to promote the community and do lots of social media to make sure everybody aware there is a community. So far the community within Chinese, it's too much involved with Cantonese. So we need to open the door, say we have to for all of the people in UK, not only Chinese.
And what's your experience, if you have any, of Chinese communities in different parts of the UK?
At the moment that like in Chinatown there's a Chinese traditional community, more Cantonese. They also have a Hokkien one. Now they have, these days we have a Northern China, Dongbei side. Also we do have slowly have a Shanghai region one. So when more, but we just need, I think, community getting more standardized and more professional and lots of work with community relevant with the society too.
And what societies, if you're happy to talk about this, what societies?
Society, for example, the young children and the young Chinese children, because they are willing to learn more like traditional way, because they're growing up here, was born here, so the lack of Chinese culture side. Sometimes they only can eat McDonald's or English food, so we still need to educate them. But meantime, we can also educate all of the same age English children and the same results. Why not?
And do you think that other people in the UK do have now a greater appreciation of Chinese culture than they did 20 years ago?
I think it's majority people, I can't say 100%, but majority people will be agreed, but still 1/3 of them, they still need to be educated.
How do you mean? How would you go about doing that?
I think through the social media, through all the course seminar, we need to educate them again. Don't forget where you're from and where you came from, where you're growing up, and also to encourage it and promote them to use a Chinese heritage and to help them to growing for their future career. That's the opportunity, because UK need more people speak Chinese and understanding Chinese culture and to work for the British or whatever in Chinese company and get more business, bring more and revenue or money back from China. That's why they need the Chinese too.
You've talked a little bit about promoting Chinese culture.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit about how you've done that?
Okay, at the moment I'm doing lots of Chinese Twitter, Weibo, little bit Facebook, and then I'm doing time do lots of like volunteer job. So for Sunday I'm doing Chinese culture seminar. So to teach Chinese and English both about eating behave and the rule of eating. So how you use chopstick properly, how to hold your rice bowl, how to you pouring the tea in good manners with politeness, and also teach you how to eat some dishes. For example, how to eat the fish, because English people eat, again sorry to say, eat the fish always fillet, and Chinese prefer the fish got head and tail. That means you have a good starter and good ending. So sort of this kind of work, and also time I post some recipe on Facebook and Twitter, and other people they're interested in learn the culture, so I will give them more feedback or detail about history, like mapo tofu, what they call mapo, what they call gumbao. So that's reason even part of sweet and sour chicken or pork, there's a story, because that's the first Chinese arriving in UK and brought up.
And what's your favourite Chinese dish, and what's its story?
My favorite dish is belly pork with the egg marinade. So that one you have to put whole your passion to cook. So for example, you have to double boil your pork to clean all the dirty part, washing carefully. Then you marinate with light soy sauce, dark soy sauce, lots of ginger, lots of spring onion. You pan fry the ginger, spring onion, get full of the body flavor. Add a tiny bit garlic and tiny bit chili, but not too much. Then you add the pork in. Okay, on same sides you cooking the egg, boil first, then you remove the skin or shell, then you carving on top, get a little bit curved, because that will make your sauce or tasting go inside the egg. So as long the belly pork already fried and not necessarily crispy, as long the you tiny bit you cooking with flavor going, add some Chinese Shaoxing wine full of soy sauce and some brown sugar or ice sugar you can add in. Then when it nearly boiled, you put the egg inside, slow cook, turn the fire and smaller, cook for 45 minutes. So the pork taste going to the egg taste going to the pork. And this is my grandmother's recipe. It's favorite. It's difficult to cook, but before the ending you add tiny bit sugar more, so give you more color and shining.
And would you say there's a secret to good cooking?
Secret, there's no secret. The secret is passion. You always try to make you the best. That's the big secret.
How would you describe the relationship with the people you work with?
In the job, like the hotel, I think I'm fully confident with all the different nationality colleagues and boss or friends, but we don't have any problem. We're all happy working together, and also my client or friend always keeping ask her favor, because I'm always willing offer the favor. So should be fine. Even sometimes it's not relevant to my job. They say, Jason, where can find the golf play, or where can do shopping for this, or buy ticket. So I always give them full description, or I will handle say a right person or right company, they deal with you. So far I got lots of inquiry, even not relevant booking, but I offer them my help, and then they send to their bookings.
We were speaking earlier about restaurants
Yeah.
that you like in London. What are the best Chinese restaurants in London?
Difficult to say. Depends what region or cuisine you're looking for. So if it's say Sichuan cuisine, I prefer the 水月巴山 Bashu, because my best friend is a consultant there. She's and Fisher Dunlop. She wrote in my Sichuan cuisine the book, very nice one. Then if like a Hunan dish, so there's two Hunan. One is in Pimlico Road. It's more like a Chinese tapas way, and owned by Taiwanese. But for traditional Hunan cuisine, I will go to Hunan Ren. So that's two. And again for dim sum, my favorite dim sum I think it's Yao Cha or Hakkasan, my previous boss, the Alan Yao opened it. And for the duck, of course, we like the best duck is upstairs, the Minjiang one. We have best duck. Okay, and also there's a small shop like now these days. There's a Taiwanese food influence, which Bobo Tea. So Bobo Q they're doing Taiwanese milk tea. So it's near the Chinatown. Again, also there's some barbecue or crispy duck or crispy pork shop near the Queensway. They do very nice and Four Seasons crispy Beijing duck, or crispy duck and crispy pork. Yeah. So it's all different. Depends what you like. If you like a live fish or lobster dish, maybe Royal China Club is the best option. So again, it's all different.
Is there anything else that you'd particularly like to talk about?
Yeah, sure. So my point is just, I wish everybody and more young generation can involve this project and to anticipate if he can. Doesn't matter what force, what job. I think everybody will need to put more effort in, so make this project a success.
Thank you so much for this interview.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.